don't always do the right thing, and I ask you to forgive me, because I need you here with me. Without you in my life, it's empty. I think back how some people did me like violence was the remedy. And because I think of them now, I will pray for my enemy.
Now the person's allowed to be here?
These days, it's easy to dismiss Earl Simmons as a man on his last legs. Since his debut 20 years ago, the artist known as DMX has been arrested for everything from drug possession to impersonating an FBI agent. It's been a hard life for the embattled MC, a tragic tale of supreme talent sabotaged by poverty, childhood abuse, drugs, and mental illness. As with many tortured artists, DMX would have his own demons to thank for the rise and fall of one of the most fascinating careers in hip-hop. From his birth in the Bronx during the 1970s, hip-hop has often been described as an outlet for the disenfranchised. It was home to honest reflections of the social, economic, and political realities of marginalized peoples. DMX has always stood out as one of its darkest geniuses, no different than Edgar Allan Poe in literature. As it was to the legendary writer, the theme of darkness is equally central to the life and art of Darkman X. First, let's go back a little bit. Hip-hop was in a weird place in 1997. Fans and critics were reeling from the devastating losses of Biggie Smalls and Tupac, which left a massive hole in the game. Music had moved out of the streets and into the shiny suits of acts like Puff Daddy, Mace, and Will Smith. For big-time music executives like Irv Gotti and Leroy Cohen, signing someone who looked and sounded like DMX was very, very dicey.
First meeting I ever had, I was like, we gotta sign DMX, and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said, she knew what I wanted to sign DMX. She said, if DMX don't sell, your ass is fired. Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, you think he's better than me? And I'd be like, he's nice just like you. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less of like you and more like him. Yeah, but don't want to live that. He's depressing, Gotti. And I said, I don't give a fuck. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman.
We're talking about a man with one of the most unconventional voices in all of music. His ultra-aggressive delivery and animalistic ad-libs clashed heavily with the flashy rap at the top of the charts. Yet and still, Def Jam took a chance on the gritty product that was DMX. His debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, dropped on May 12, 1998. It shot to the top of the Billboard 200, with 251,000 copies sold in its first week and went 4 times platinum in just over 2 years. It also paved the way for the Bronx MC to become just the second rapper since Tupac to land 2 platinum-selling albums in the same year. With that being said, It's Dark and Hell is Hot was much more than just a commercial and critical success. It was a sonic masterpiece that introduced a new rap heavyweight, revived a floundering label in Def Jam, and changed hip-hop as people knew it at the time. 4 years earlier, Nas's Illmatic introduced a thoughtful and technically brilliant brand of inner-city storytelling that inspired evolution in music. DMX replicated this in 1998 with a menacing and violent documentary. His willingness to expose personal demons on stage, during interviews, and on wax appealed to those who were either captivated by darkness or looking to find meaning within their own suffering. The kind of fascination that surrounded DMX's debut transcends both time and genre. Kurt Cobain, Eminem, Tony Soprano, Omar Little, and the Joker have all exposed America's never-ending appreciation for complicated and imperfect anti-heroes. On the song Effing with D, DMX opens up about his own mental illness.
Is you on the level of a madman whose mind's twisted? Magic in the dreams caught the last train, mind's lifted. Listed as a manic depressive with extreme paranoia. And dog, I got something for you.
Amazingly, he's able to dig a bit deeper on Stop Being Greedy, with a manic rap that shines a light on the highs and lows of his own bipolar disorder.
But I don't like drama, so I stay to myself. Keep focused with this rap, bitch, and pray for the wealth. I want the money, give me the honeys with big asses. Don't you spread the champagne, you got big glasses. I'm drunk, so I'm a bashes, head wide open. Begging me to stop, but at least he died hoping. Didn't get his wish, now he's a dish for the pack. Two glowing red eyes, everything else black. I've been eating long enough now, stop being greedy.
His most incredible display of dark artistry comes in the standout track Damien, a head-spinning, back-and-forth battle between X and a personification of one of his own demons. Here, the suffering MC comes to the realization that by embracing his consuming darkness for fame, he sold his soul to the devil. The greatness of this track can be seen in its influence on someone like Kendrick Lamar, who cited that his own encounters with Lucy, or Lucifer, on To Pimp a Butterfly were inspired by Damien.
I can go all the way back. X really started me, to actually do music. That first album was classic, so consciously I probably did. Yeah. Just off the influence, on how he had on my career.
In addition to representing different levels of hell, a closer look at these songs reveal that while not the most technical of MCs, DMX was in fact an incredible storyteller. From Slick Rick to Outkast, certain rappers have excelled at mixing rhymes with gripping stories over the span of an entire song. Backed by the perfectly menacing production of Dame Grease, PK, and Swiss Beats, Darkman X was able to dole out memorable tales of crime in ATF, love and How's It Going Down, and redemption in his prayer skit. Songs like the Ruff Ryders anthem and Get At Me Dog highlighted his flexibility by proving that he could write radio anthems with the best of them. Given his fall from grace, I felt that it was important to remind people why Earl Simmons is one of hip-hop's most important figures. His numbers, talent, and influence are all undeniable. His infectious energy was apparent to me the moment he stepped onto the scene in LL Cool J's unforgettable 4-3-2-1. When it comes to content and production, X's debut is a perfect exercise in organized chaos. To this day, his journey through the lowest depths of humanity remains captivating and disturbing. It captures his descent with enough skill and authenticity to match the likes of something as great as Goodfellas. By giving an unforgettable voice to the darkest corners of society, It's Dark and Hell is Hot solidified the Bronx MC as one of rap's premier street prophets. In addition to bringing Def Jam back from the dead, this album ushered in the return of the rap crew with Ruff Ryders, a talented collective that brought us Eve, Swiss Beats, and the return of Lox. It also led to the emergence of street talents like 50 Cent and Cameron, who came with crews of their own. DMX sits with the likes of Tupac in my top 5 because of his honesty as an artist. Both MCs were not afraid to rage against the machine in one song and cry for forgiveness in others. Both persisted through challenging lives and careers. They also stood tall in the face of a demise that they predicted in their own music. Dave Chappelle once stated that the worst thing you could call somebody was crazy because it's dismissive. I too believe that some strong people suffer because of their sick environments. Few make it out completely, some not at all. Remember that the next time Earl Simmons is on the news for something other than music. Hey guys, thank you for taking a special look back at DMX and his debut, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. As a rapper, of course, that was very, very big to me. An underrated legend, brought back hardcore East Coast hip hop to my generation. He gave my parents a lot of headaches when I was younger, of course. If you like what you saw, jump down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think I should tackle in future videos. Most importantly, subscribe to the Almighty Media YouTube channel to get notified when more content drops. Thank you and take care.